Hello all, in this tutorial I want to show you how to create explosions using RayFire bomb and talk about its properties and how you can use it during your simulation. So to start, I will create a RayFire bomb. You can find it in this create category. Go to helpers, here open RayFire this category, and here it is. So you can click on it, and to create it you need to click on viewport and start dragging its range. Okay, it will be enough. Okay, I will start with these properties, and to quickly show you these properties I will set to planar and set to unlimited range, so it will be easier for you to see how they affect simulation. Also there is a icon group, so I can display this bomb icon, and right now I don't need it. I will turn it off, so you will see this. Right now it's planar explosion type, and here's direction. You can see this arrow, it represents the direction of explosion. So I will set it like this. Okay, so I'm going to explode this wall. It's fragmented into clusters. Okay, all the fragments inside dynamic impact object list, which means they will start falling down right after I will start simulation. And to prevent it, I will show you how to prevent this later. So to start using a firebomb, you need to select it and add in the simulation properties list. Otherwise, it won't affect anyhow the simulation. And first property is frame. Which means it will explode at frame 20. So I will start my simulation at frame 90. Okay, let's create the preview with just default properties to see how it works. And here our explosion. Since our range is unlimited, as you can see, it exploded all the objects I have in my dynamic list. So as you can see, some fragments get more impulse at the explosion, and some of them get less. And here, this is thanks to this chaos property, which adds some variation to the strength. So let's cancel simulation, and let's set chaos to 0, and just to see the difference, let's start preview again. And as you can see, this time our simulation looks much less aggressive. Almost all fragments get the same strength. So of course such explosion looks not so interesting, but you can notice that all the fragments get the same strength thanks to because chaos was 0, but each of them spin a little bit around its local x. So this happens because thanks to this spin property. So let's set it to 0 as well, and here what we'll get right now, completely flat explosion. All the fragments have the same position impulse and the same rotation impulse, which is 0. And so you can play with these properties to get affection you need. Let's set it to 50. So right now we will get the same position impulse, but spin will be much higher. Okay, so using this chaos and spin property, you can add some variation into your explosions and make them more interesting. So let's set here 30 by 40. Start preview. And again, you can see that some fragments get more impulse and some fragments get less. And of course there's the strength property which globally defines explosion strength. Let's set it to 5. And our explosion this time will not be so aggressive. Okay, now let's start. I will talk about the shockwave property later after I will describe all this range stuff. So now let's go to range properties, and again there's a display checkbox which allows you to visualize in viewport current explosion type and its range. So let's start from spherical type, and since unlimited range is defined, it doesn't matter how big is this visualization helper. This bomb will explode again. It will explode all the fragments which are in dynamic list or in slipping list. And again, if I will explode right now, I will explode all the fragments, but this time I will explode them not in planar way, but starting from this point in all other directions. Okay, let's cancel it. And usually you will not explode stuff just in using unlimited range type, because it will affect all the fragments and you will need just to explode some area fragments. And to do so you need to hit here linear range type, and as you can see right now the visualization shape changed, and now it actually represents the sides of your range. So let's put it bomb here, the ground, and here our range. As you can see, it will affect only the fragments inside its range. Let's create preview. And as you can see, it explodes only the fragments inside its range, but since all the other fragments are dynamic, the fragments which exploded also pushed all the other fragments, and all this wall collapsed. Let's pause it. So to prevent this falling, fragments, side fragments from falling, here what you can do, you can go to, first I will cancel it. You can go to this activation options and deactivate the static dynamic objects. So static means that this object are not animated, so they don't have any animation. So right now, if I will start simulation, they will act like they are static object. So I can, if I will explode it right now, nothing will happen. They will not even fall to the ground. They will just stay intact. And to make this bomb affect this deactivated dynamic object, I need to click on here activate by force, and this means that only the fragments which will get any explosion, only they will be affected. All other fragments will stay like they are static object. Let's start preview. And here you can see only the fragments inside this range were affected. All other fragments stay intact. So in this way, let's cancel it. Also, let's set gravity like 0.7. Okay, so in this way you can quickly play with range or with your bomb position. Let's make it less, force 0.6 to make explosion more noticeable. So you can quickly position at any place you want your bomb and preview your simulation. If you don't like it, you can move it to another place, make your size less, try another take. Okay, although there's exponential range type, to explain how it works, I will create two bombs. The one will be linear and another one will be exponential. So you will see the difference. But shortly, exponential means that the explosion in strength will fade out pretty quickly, not in linear way, but in exponential. So one bomb have linear range type and another one have here exponential, and I have to add the second bomb to the simulation properties as well. And actually let's set strength to 0.8 to make explosion more aggressive, and let's start simulation again. So now you can see the difference. The left one is exponential and the right one is a linear range type, and as you can see, the exponential one is much less aggressive. It allows you to create more spiky explosions, and so a lot more fragments within the range will be stay at their positions, and you will get more crumbling of the fragments. As you can see, some of them even didn't fall to the ground, even though they were activated. And the linear way is much more aggressive. As you can see, it explodes more fragments. And again, strength is much less for exponential type since it decays pretty quickly. Okay, let's cancel it. I will delete one bomb, keep only one. Okay, also there's a angle property. It works only for spherical explosion type. If I will pick planar or cylindrical, as you can see it grayed out, it works only for spherical explosion type, and it means that using by default it's 360 degrees, which means that explosion will happen in all directions, but making it less, you can create only, you can add some angle to your explosion. So in this case it will explode not all objects inside its range, but only the object inside its cone. So let's see if I will set it like here. Start preview. And you can see only the area inside this cone were exploded. So using this angle property for spherical explosion, you can make your explosions more precise, like rotate it and get completely different explosion. Here's a nice one. Okay. Another way to create explosions is to use this cylindrical explosion type. I will delete second one. So as you guess, the cylindrical explosion type works explode all the fragments like a spherical bomb, but along its z-axis, around its z-axis. And again, let's set it to unlimited range, so you will see how it will affect all the fragments. Start preview again. And as you see, all the fragments were exploded in all directions along its local z-axis, but not like a spherical bomb, which will explode like this fragments to this direction and lower fragments to this direction. All the fragments explodes from the top or another direction from the bomb position. And again, you can use this range property for the cylindrical explosion type. Let's set it to exponential, and this time let's make it less, so it won't affect all the fragments. Let's keep some fragments away from the range, not inside range, something like this. Let's try again. So as you can see, these fragments on the top and fragments at the bottom were not affected by explosion, and only fragments at the middle of the wall were exploded. Maybe I have to set here more strength. Also, since I'm using this exponential type, my explosion not so aggressive. Let's set it to linear, and I think in this case all the fragments will explode except the fragments which are not inside range. Yeah, as you can see, this time it's much more aggressive. Another way to use RayFire bomb is to use it with slipping object. So I will send all this dynamic object into slipping list here. Here it is. Right now my slipping objects will awake after they will get some impulse. And let's start simulation just to see how it works right now. And just like before, some pieces exploded and some others started falling down. Okay, let's cancel. The difference is that I can start simulation, let's say it's frame 0, start preview, and since they are slipping, they will not fall down right now. They will be slip, and only after explosion all the fragments will start falling down. So to prevent this, I can again go to this activation options and turn on dead slipping objects. Right now I will keep revive at 0, which means it will not be possible to revive them. They always will be dead even after explosion. And using this technique you can create just a simple push for the fragments. So here it is. As you can see, they just got this explosion impulse, and then stopped movement again. Just explosion animation, that's all. And to make this explosion affect them, you can start playing with this revive dead velocity. Set it to 50. You can start playing. Let's set it to 1 right now. Start preview again. And again, as you can see, it started affected them, but it weak all the other fragments as well. So to make them more resistant for the explosion, let's set it to 10. The higher the value, the harder the fragments will be to awake. And this time, as you can see, RayFire bomb exploded fragments inside the range, but all the other fragments stay intact even though they were pushed a little bit. If you remember, if you use deactivate static dynamic object, all the fragments inside range explode, but all the other fragments stay intact. And using dead slipping object feature, you can explode objects inside range and affect a little bit. Here you can see this cracks. So in this way you can explode objects inside range, and all other fragments will be just move it a little bit, and you will get all the cracks. Okay, let's cancel it. Let's make revive dead by velocity less, like 6. See, some fragments even outside of the range were affected, because fragments which exploded affected them. And here you may notice that some fragments are still fly, like froze in the air. So you need to play with this a little bit more. Maybe make it like 4.5. So all the small fragments also will be affected. So as you can see, using dead sleeping objects, which you can explode fragments inside the range and have some parts of the other fragments just to be affected by the exploded fragments. Let's continue it. So you get all this nice crumbling. And another way you can, let's say, set it to 50, so it will be harder to affect the fragments right now and get completely different result. Okay, let's make it even more, like 25. So this time I want to get even fragments inside the range not to be affected by explosion. So you see some fragments even inside range still stay at their positions. Let's make it 40. Okay, you see now even more fragments just were pushed a little bit, but then froze in the air. Okay, let's solve this dead object feature. Now let me show you the last property, is shockwave, which I said I will mention later. So to show it, I think it will be easier to rotate all the fragments here. I will add them back to the dynamic list. So this time it will be a ground object, not the wall. Okay. So I will put my bomb this end. And I will set it unlimited range, so this time it will affect all the fragments. Also, I will set it to planar, so all this it means that all the fragments will be exploded upwards. Let's see what we will have right now. Explosion strength 1. Okay, I will also turn on deactivate and activate by force. This is what I will get right now. Since my range is unlimited, all the fragments will be affected right now. All of them will explode it up. That's it. Okay, let's make chaos like 10, explosion less. And let's start using shockwave property. This property defines the shockwave speed, which means that it defines distance, which means that each frame shockwave will move to this distance from the bomb explosion. So let's use our range. Our range is 35. So here's our range distance. I will need to put here about 80 to get each frame, all these fragments explode one by one. So let's say set it to 50. Start preview again. So this is how works shockwave. It doesn't allow the bomb to explode all the fragments even though there is unlimited range, but instead it just start exploding groups by group using this shockwave distance as a speed for the shockwave. Let's set spin to 0 and chaos to 0 as well, so it will be easier to see the shockwave speed. Let's make it higher. Now let's try lower wireless. Okay, so this is how it works. Pretty easy. So let's start. Now let's position it at the middle. Let's try again. So as you can see, using just one property, you can create shockwave effect pretty quickly and easily. Thank you for watching.